In the meantime, I will give you a bonus to this session by inviting Professor Matija Strlič to the stage to introduce the GreenHer project. Matija Strlič is Professor of Analytical Chemistry at the University of Ljubljana and Professor of Heritage Science at the University College of London. He is a member of the European Academy of Science and Arts, Fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry and the International Institute for Conservation. He has been responsible for or involved in more than 60 national international projects. And in 2015, he received the Ambassador of Science of the Republic of Slovenia Award for his outstanding achievements in science and international collaboration. Matija, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. It's such a huge pleasure to be here today and to be called a bonus. Because that's exactly what we feel GreenHer is to the Slovenian heritage science research community, and hopefully also more widely across the southeastern European region, which is where we feel most of our impact is going to be, and perhaps also more widely in the Mediterranean, the Near and the Far East. In many ways, this is a very young child to the projects that have already been presented, and in some of those projects we have had the pleasure to collaborate and to be part of, particularly GreenHer, but we've collaborated with others as well. GreenHer is a slightly different type of project. It's a coordination action, and it has been developed within the widening program, which some of you might know, and allows us to develop a new research center in Slovenia in collaboration with advanced partners at CNR and University College London. In the next 6 years, the project has a very long time planning horizon. In the next 6 years, we hope to develop about 45 FTEs working entirely in the field of heritage science, and hopefully steering the field towards green and digital innovation. In order to be able to win this project, we had to convince not just the evaluators, but also the national policy makers. And we had to align the vision of this project with the national policies. And the national cohesion policies rely very much on green innovation, digital transition, and sustainable tourism. And it turned out that heritage science was the ideal vessel, was the ideal vehicle to push forward innovation in all these three policy areas. The investment is quite substantial. It's about 13.5 million over the next 6 years. And this is matched with the same amount of funding from the national government. What this is going to allow us to do is not just employ new researchers and develop pilot projects and build cooperations across the region, but also it is going to allow us to develop new instrumentation and to build an infrastructure, a building basically, for the new center. So in 3 years' time, hopefully we'll be able to invite you to our new building in Ljubljana. The center, as I already mentioned, has partners in Slovenia, plus CNR and UCL. And in Slovenia, it brings together all the most important heritage science research institutions, 3 universities and 4 research centers, including some heritage institutions such as the National and University Library, within which the Slovenian Collaborative Cloud for Cultural Heritage is going to be developed. It is also going to incorporate the Slovenian national note of the European Research Infrastructure for Heritage Science. So you can see how, with this new center, we're really integrating capacities in heritage science in what is essentially a very small country, but we're hoping that the center will have a large international impact. Where we hope to have most impact in the coming 12 years, because we had to plan impact for 6 years after the end of funding, is along the entire heritage science or cultural heritage value chain, if you like. Not just looking at materials and conservation, which is, of course, incredibly important, but also looking at buildings, looking at landscapes and archaeological sites, looking at how they can be managed more sustainably in relation to heritage tourism. Slovenia being a small country, it cannot afford over-tourism. It's just not possible. So we need to develop tourism products that are much more in consort with the local communities, that benefit the local communities as well as tourists. And going on, looking at data, we need to develop not just AI-enabled solutions for greener conservation or greener management of cultural heritage, but also need to look at how AI itself can be made more environmentally sustainable. We know that the totality of AI currently consumes as much energy across a year as the entire city of New York. And it's planned to consume more energy over the next decade. It's planned to consume double that amount over the next decade. So the growth of energy consumption related to AI is immense. So as we look at this entire chain, we want to look where the best efficiencies can be made. Perhaps those efficiencies, green efficiencies, are in conservation. Perhaps they're in tourism management. Perhaps they're in digital and data industries. We just simply don't have those models yet, and this is what we want to research and surgically focus on those areas where, along this chain, green efficiencies can be made. But how do we define what is green in heritage science is another concept that we've been grappling with. And that's what we've been thinking about in the frame of the GreenHer project, and developed 9 indicators to help us steer the field, to help us steer this new center of excellence going forward. Of course, these indicators are not just related to environmental sustainability or social, cultural sustainability or economic sustainability, because we all know from heritage theory that heritage values cannot be easily disentangled. They are very often conflicting. They are very often, if not always, difficult to resolve. So if we tackle only environmental values, there is a possibility that that action is going to affect other values that people perhaps value more. So we must think about green development in consort with social sustainability and economic sustainability. Therefore, our 9 indicators, and we hope to develop them further in collaboration with the community, will guide us through the next decade. I've just arrived from the kickoff, which was yesterday, and so the entire project has just started. There is already a website if you'd like to have more information, and we hope to contribute to events such as this even more fully in the future. We're really happy to already be involved as the center in several European research projects, such as the Coming Partnership, for example, as well as the Chiron project, helping to educate and train the new generation of research infrastructure providers. So this gives you a little bit of flavor where we want to go and where we want to have our impact. Thank you very much.